What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Rahul Maju or Bimmer Shots here again, and I'm here to show you a quick video on how to solve a common issue on your F30 BMW 328, 335, 320, whichever the one it may be. The problem in hand that we're talking about is actually coming from the rear side of the car. The issue that we're having here is that the active sound flap on this exhaust is actually rattling, and what happens is there's this pin that's inside of the car. Over time, the heat causes the pin to warp and possibly shrink or enlarge or just get dislodged, and then it simply just falls off or it gets dislodged, and the flap that's inside of the exhaust valve starts rattling against the metal, and it creates quite an unpleasant sound. It sounds similar to like keys or coins inside of like a metal pipe, and when you turn on the car, when you're just driving it at super low RPMs, you're going to hear it and it's going to annoy you in the back of your head. And I'm going to show you guys how it sounds too real quick. Now, as you might have heard, there was a slight rattling noise, and it wasn't quite prevalent right now, but on other days it's quite unbearable, and there's no way you can't notice it. I mean, if I was a pedestrian walking by, I'll be like, that car is annoying. Now, the actual clip is that's actually broken is this one. My clip in particular, I could not find on the part itself. I'm assuming it might have fallen off. I am running a stage 1 93 octane tune on this, so possibly maybe the excess heat or pressure from the exhaust caused it to warp, but this is the clip in particular. It connects to the actuator, which is a device that actually opens and closes the valve. So it would go like how to describe it, it would go open or close like that. There's two ridges that these like bars line up into, and along that it's connected to the actuator, which moves the exhaust open and close. I believe it's during the sports mode that it actually adjusts, or maybe when the car is warmed up it automatically opens up, because stock this car does have some burbles and you can hear it when the exhaust flap is open. So to actually locate the issue, you would have to go underneath. Just follow, this is the tip of your exhaust, follow it until you see this device right here. This is the actual actuator, and what its function was, like I said, is to open and close the flap, which is connected right around here. Now if you look over here, 1 second, this little like stud right here is actually the place where the actuator rests on. Now if I go up close, you could possibly see. You hear that? Now that's the actual part that rattles in the part over here, and that's exactly what we're trying to fix. Normally there would be a clip here, but it's obviously fallen off, so can't do much about that. We have to remove this actuator here by taking these 12mm nuts out, and I've already gone ahead and loosened it up because my ratchet had a tight fit over here, so I had to do it by hand. wasn't easy at all. But one last bit over here on this side, this one I gotta take off, and I loosened there's two in the back, right on this side, right on this side, and right on that side. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that, and I'll cut back to the video when I'm done with that. All right, so I've gone ahead and I've removed all three of the nuts that are holding this actuator in place, and now you can simply just lift it off and let it drop right here. And as you can see, this little nudge right here is where the actual clip is gonna fit. So let me see if I could position the GoPro in a way that I could record and do it at the same time. All right, I had to go in from a different angle, so as you can see, sorry, it's kind of tight here, but this is the actuator itself, and this is the place where the flap is for the exhaust. You want to fit the pin between that and then tighten down the bolts, and you should be good. So let me cut back to when I'm at that point. Alright guys, so I managed to have that clip propped in there between those two joints. How you want to put it is, see if I could provide some flash. So the first clip, the left side with that little overhanging part, is going to be on the exhaust side, whereas the flat side of the clip is going to be in the actual actuator valve. So once you have it positioned like that, try to put one of the nuts in so you can secure it in place, and at this point you're good to go ahead and hand tighten it, and then tighten it up with the socket wrench, and you should be good to go. I'll cut back to when the car is fully bolted down, and I'll run an exhaust clip right after that. Alright, so I got that clip installed onto the actuator flap, so let's go ahead and just take one last look at it before I go ahead and turn it on. So as you can see, the flap has the pin inside of it. That is the pin itself. I have an extra one just in case this one decides to go falling off anyways, but I do have some exhaust work planned in the future for this car, so this may or may not be here. But regardless, let's go ahead and get that exhaust clip and show you guys. As you can see, the exhaust sound is far less rattly. I don't hear any coins or nothing at all in the exhaust, so pretty sure I went ahead and fixed that issue before it got any worse, but let's let it cool down. Alright, so I had to cut the recording of the exhaust clip I had in the previous video because the audio was messed up and I guess it wasn't able to be rendered in the post-production. But here, let me get a quick exhaust clip. I'm in the city right now, so don't mind the external noise, but here we go.